Making games, or any kind of program, revolves around storing, organising and working with data. So far, we've used variables to store data, but what if we have a list of items that we want to work with, like a shopping list or a list of my fave Smash Bros characters? I don't want to have to make and remember a new variable for every single one of them. Arrays let us really easily store collections of information together. It's a structure that lets us store several things in sequence. We'll call things inside an array its elements. So like a variable, we'll give our array a name and equate that to its value. That is, our array elements are enclosed in square brackets and separated by commas, just like this. Our array elements can be of any type. So we could have an array like 1, my name, false, a boolean. So yeah, that's a perfectly fine array to have. When we're working with arrays, we need to know the place that each item is at, and we'll call that its index. Now, the tricky thing about arrays is that, unlike what we usually count in real life, computers start counting from 0. So the indexes are assigned to the elements as 0, 1, 2, and so on. Then, to access an item at the, say, 0th place, which is like the first place, but 0 in computer counting, we use the name of the array and have square brackets surrounding the index that we want to get the item from. So this expression here, galaxies square brackets 0, is equivalent to the first item in this array, galaxies. This expression then we can use like a variable which is equivalent to the corresponding array element. To demonstrate all that, I'm going to make an array of my favourite numbers, so why don't you hop back onto the P5 editor and try writing this code with me. So first, we need to decide what we want to call our array. I'm just going to call it nums, and equate that to the array. So open square bracket and my numbers, I'm going to pick 1, 3, and minus 9, and 10. And yep, close bracket there. And this is just like making any other variable. So name of the array equals and then the array. Now let's print out this array, console.log nums. So we've printed out our array here, so nums is equal to this array. Now, how would I be able to print out the third item in this array? So to do that, we're taking the name of the array nums, square bracket, and the index of the third item, which is 2. So remember, we're counting from 0 with arrays, so the indexes go like 0, 1, 2. So this is the third item in the array, but it's at index 2, so we do nums 2. And then if I print that out, that will give me the third item, so 9. So now, just pretend that there are way more than 4 items in this array. How would I be able to find out how many items there were in the array? Thankfully, JavaScript gives us a nice easy way to do this. All we need to do is we write the name of the array, then dot, and length. So nums.length gives us the length of the array nums. Simple. So if I run that now, I get 4, because that's how many items there are in nums. But if I added a few more items, then run this again, then you can see that there are now 7 items in the array. So that's how we get the length of an array. That's how we get a specific item from the array, given a certain index, and that's just how we get the array itself. We're going to learn one more thing about arrays, and that is how to add a new item to one. So we have this thing called push that lets us add a new item to the end of an array. So let's demonstrate that. We'll start with an empty array. I'll just call it smash, and it's equated to just square brackets with nothing in it. That's an empty array. So if I run this code, you can see empty array here, and it has a length of 0. So now let's use push. We do that by writing the name of the array, then dot, push, then in, just parentheses, brackets, we write the thing that we want to add to the array. So I'm going to add the string Kirby. So now I'll run the code, and you can see that Kirby, the string, has been added to the array, and it now has a length of 1. Let's do that a couple more times. I'll add another string, smash.push, and I'll add another one, I'll add a number. Cool, so if I run this, I now have 3 items in the array, has a length of 3, and yeah, you can see these 3 elements have been added to the array, and they've been added to the end of the array, so this number has 111 has been added after the 2 strings I added before it. So smash.push will always add something to the end of the smash array. And that's how you add a new item to an array.